Hello, my name is Tran Myhre. I'm very honored to share something with you all, especially since in my work it's much less often about speaking to an audience that is more or less kind of on the same page as I am about issues related to justice, and much more often about introducing those issues, about bringing the conversation that we're having into spaces where it isn't already happening. And so that makes me think a lot about the function of art as a vehicle for imagination. Not just in the trendy buzzword sense, but I'm thinking about how, Bell Hooks said, how can you become what you cannot imagine? Or when, Lucille Clifton said, we cannot create what we can't imagine. Ursula K. Le Guin said, the exercise of imagination is dangerous to those who profit from the way things are because it has the power to show that the way things are is not permanent, not universal, not necessary. And so for today, I figured, you all probably don't need to hear a poem from me about the work that you're already doing. I thought instead I might share something more about imagination. This is a piece that I use in my work, not to make people, think what I want them to think, but to open the door to a conversation about understanding the word justice in a more expansive way, a more human-centered way. It's called, Why Do You Write Poems When Death Is All Around Us? If we were in a room together, we'd do a whole call and response thing, but I think it'll be okay. So, why do you write poems when death is all around us? Because when I was your age, the fighters in my family who would have taught me otherwise fell asleep beneath a heavy black shroud. Because after that, the only person who would share their food with me happened to be a poet, so I'm kind of just stuck, which is really why most people write poems in the first place. Why do you write poems when death is all around us? Because my eyesight isn't very good. And that makes for a short-lived mercenary or militia fighter, but it's perfect for an artist because I can't see the audience well enough to get nervous. Why do you write poems when death is all around us? Because even if I were the greatest swordsman on this moon, all rippling muscles and whirling blades, death would still be all around us. You can't beat death. You can only dance a little more slippery, drum a little more timelessly, hold that note beyond your breath and hope to find a home in its echo. Why do you write poems when death is all around us? Because of simple mathematics. With a blade in my hand, what are my odds against a hungry bandit? With a poem on my tongue, though, maybe I can visit a village and make a child laugh. Maybe that child then sleeps through the night with no nightmares. Maybe his older sister then also sleeps through the night because she doesn't have to wake up to comfort her brother. Maybe then, later in the day, she will go for a walk by the river instead of taking a nap. Maybe she will discover a secret bloom of mushrooms and the whole village will have a beautiful, great feast. Maybe a man who in another story would have been a hungry bandit attends that feast, eats until he is full, dances until he is delirious. And look at me, I've killed a bandit. Simple mathematics. Why do you write poems when death is all around us? Because I too dream of escape and know that escapism offers none, only its outline in silver, because I am not strong enough to tear these walls down, but I can write our names on them. Because our names are spells, a magic the wall cannot rationalize, a fault line through its face with this name. I summon myself with these names, these poems. I summon something greater than myself, the splitting of a cell in the darkness, the new growth, the promise of a billion bricks bursting. Why do you write poems when death is all around us? Because death is all around us. Because life is all around us. So when death comes, let it come. Let it step over this tripwire tongue, paint over every poem. My heaven has always been a blank page. So when death comes, let it make me one. Until then, I will write For myself, for my ancestors, I will write. For the whisper of a possibility that it might matter. For the fun of it, if it doesn't. I was taught that when we use the word right, writing poems, righting wrongs, human rights, civil rights, last rights, a flurry of rights and rituals, the meaning of the word changes and does not change at all. So look around us. Look all around us, how every poem, every song, every story, every name pulls just a bit more at that shroud. Don't you want to see what's underneath? Thank you for listening, and most importantly, thank you for the work that you're doing.